it's Heather with Project K9. I ran a free event today where it was basically an Ask the Trainer event, and there were some really great questions here. So I want to go over kind of my favorite ones and some that I get asked quite often. I'm not going to go over everything because there are quite a few things here, but we'll just kind of start going through these. That way, if you ever had these questions or if you wanted to help educate someone else, you have this here. So the first question was, how much should I be feeding my 9-week-old 14-pound golden doodle? And I recommended them to go to dogfoodadvisor.com. There's a calorie calculator there, and you can find out how much you actually should be feeding. The recommendations on the back of the bags, they're a little bit too much. So I don't recommend following that. Or if you do, just feed about 60 to 70% less. With dogs, I like to see an ideal weight where you can see a waistline and you can feel their ribs, but you can't see them. That way they're not too skinny. But I like, that's where I like to see dogs. If you can't feel their ribs, or if you have to push to feel them, they might need to lose a few pounds or so. And that's fine. It's pretty easy to do once you have them on the right amount of food. Next one, why does my dog not listen to me as well as my husband? And she kind of gave some examples. And it's more of a respect thing. This particular person, she's in a wheelchair, and so doing some of these exercises are a little bit different or difficult for her. And so we're actually going to be putting this dog on the e-collar. He doesn't come back to them when he's let off leash, but he does for the husband. So e-collar training is gonna help a lot in this case. And you can definitely call me or email me questions about the e-collar. I'm not going to get into that right now. Next one, kind of the same thing. They got a 10-month-old bloodhound who's not coming back when called. And so I gave her some exercises she can do in the park, just on a 30-foot lead. Kind of let her do her thing and then sit down on the ground, ask her to come to you, open arms. Hey, come here, come on. And I'll kind of get her to trust a little bit more, because she thinks it's a game. She's 10 months old. She's a puppy. She's still learning. And so that'll start building a good relationship. The other thing that would help in this case is the e-collar too. I didn't recommend that because I'd recommend that on another question, so I gave her some other exercises you can do without it. I don't use the e-collar in every single case, but it's kind of just what I recommended. Next one, they have a 6-month-old Aussie Doodle. She's submissive peeing even with people that she's met before except the family. This, I actually recommended a free evaluation. Have her come and drop off the dog for a day. Let me see what I can see that's going on. Submissive urination is actually a sign of pretty bad anxiety, or maybe something else is going on, but it's probably an insecure dog. This is usually what I see when they're not very trusting, or they're like, oh my gosh, please don't hurt me. And so this is one that I would offer a board and train for. She would do better without the owners during the training. And that's something, some owners aren't open to that, so we can do private training. It'll just take a little bit longer. I also offered them to go, or I offered information on a free social class. My friend Bethany owns Wasatch Canine Camp, and she does this class for free every Saturday. I recommended they take this dog there. It's a very safe, structured way to get your dog out and socialize them. And these classes, sometimes they do magic on some of these dogs. You bring a really insecure dog in, give it a month, and they're a social butterfly. It just kind of depends on the dog, depends on what's going on at home, things like that. But this class is fantastic, so I recommend that to pretty much everyone. Next one was car sickness. I gave some suggestions. You can try Dramamine or Bonine. Ginger Snaps work. But the biggest one is, how does the dog feel about the car? Does the car cause anxiety? What is the state of mind when they jump in? Do they jump in? Do they avoid it? That's where I kind of start doing the training. Is trying to find out what the root cause of the car sickness is. I thought that this is a younger dog. His name is Coda, and she didn't really say if he has anxiety around the car, but a little bit later in her comments she mentioned that he doesn't want to jump in. So that's kind of what I think is going on. So if you start there, feed in the car, give treats around the car, make it the best thing in the world. when you put the dog in the car, take him to someplace fun like the park, and then go play and give lots of treats and things like that. Positive reinforcement around that type of thing. So she said she was going to start there. It's great. Next one. This was my favorite question. When I'm out walking my dogs, I see other dogs roaming around. I don't know the right thing to do if we're ever approached by an aggressive dog. If one actually starts a fight with my dogs, what do I do? I don't want my dogs getting hurt. Her dog's name is Kaya. She's a Great Pyrenees, big. So she's like, I don't think she needs protecting, but I would want to get in between them. What? Not that Kaya needs protecting, but I would probably want to get in between my dogs and the aggressive one, and I bet that's not right. Do I let mine off leash? Do I try and control mine? What do I do? It could seem like a really ugly mess. Good question. It depends on the situation, depends on the dog. So if there's an aggressive dog barking and lunging and whatever on the other side of the street, ignore it. Don't go near it. Don't walk faster. Just keep doing what you're doing. Because if you stay calm and focused, your dog is going to look to you and be like, oh, okay, you're fine, so everything must be fine. And then you'll just move on. If they start coming to you, like the aggressive dog starts running at you or something, you can yell at it, tell it to go home, say, get out of here, like, just make a lot of noise, be scary. Just like if it's a cougar or a bear or something. Maybe not a bear, but if it's a cougar, you can scare it pretty easy. You just want it to go away. That's what you want to do. So if that doesn't work and it's still coming towards you, do whatever necessary to protect your dogs. That's the bottom line. Very basic answer. You can buy products like a pet convincer or a spray shield. Spray shield is a citronella spray. It's like pepper spray, but it burns, but there's no permanent damage. You can try that if you have enough time. That's happened to me before. I didn't even think to use, I had a spray shield on me. I always do. But I didn't even think to get it out and use it. I just, I ended up getting in between my dogs and protecting them, whatever is necessary. Something that I do when I'm walking a large pack, just because if it's not my own animals, and I only have 2, if I have 4 or 5 that I'm walking, I can't just get in between all of them. One of them may be a little stronger, and I'm a small person, so, I take a walking stick with me, or, something where I can create some space. And it's not for beating any of the animals, it's just to create some space. And if that doesn't work, maybe I can distract it by, like hitting it on the butt or something like that, just to get it off my dog. I never want to hurt another animal, but my safety and my animal safety always comes first. So I get asked that a lot, so that was a good thing for somebody to ask. Next one, she had a little puppy, always in play mode. She's one of my clients as well. She had a question about when can I actually pet him because he's always so hyper all the time. You don't want to reward that behavior. So it sounds like this dog needs more kennel time. He needs more structured activities. And he also needs to practice being calm. That's something that he needs to learn. A lot of people think sit, stay. That's what they need to learn. Walk nicely on the leash. And those are all great things. But teaching a calm demeanor is also very important. So that's what I recommended. And this is the last one. This one, there were like 25 comments on this particular question, so I'm going to sum it up. There was a 1.5-year-old Mastiff who was previously potty trained but is now having accidents in the house. And there was a person on here who commented on maybe the dog has a medical issue, and that's definitely a concern. But, she didn't mention anything, and so I don't jump to immediately medical. I'm a behavioral trainer, so I look at behavior. We'll try everything else first, and it's also very hard to see in this case because I'm not seeing the dog. If he was here, or she, I think it was a girl, yeah, it was a girl, if she was here and I was seeing something like maybe incredibly smelly urine, or black tarry poop, diarrhea, something like that would be a red flag for me. But she didn't mention any of that. It doesn't mean it's not happening. Maybe she just didn't think of it. So this person was kind of pointing out some medical issues. Other advice that I gave, if there wasn't a medical issue, obviously, I recommend schedule meal times, no food or water after 6 p.m. Kind of start at the basics. Go back like they were a puppy. Some dogs just forget, like it's happened, or they get more freedom and they shouldn't have, and so they're kind of not acting out, but they forget where their place is. So things like that. Lots of kennel time, stuff like that. I'm just looking to see if there's anything else relevant. Oh, so she did mention that there may have been an incident in the backyard. The dog is now anxious to go in the backyard, so she puts him out, and she just wants to come right back in again. But she'll go in the front yard, and so it seems like there might be some anxiety in the backyard, and so I recommended doing some training exercises back there, maybe showing her that this is not a bad place. Bad things may have happened here, but that's okay, because, you know, we're over that, and it's not going to happen every time. It's just like a dog who's maybe had a bad experience with a child or another dog, or even a person, maybe they were mistreated. Teaching them that it's not every person, you know, you're fine. It's not going to be every person. That's really important. Kind of that's on a side note, got a little distracted, but you know, there could be something very simple that made her nervous. There was like a flag or something, and now she doesn't want to go to the backyard because she's scared of the flag. It could be something as simple as that. Or maybe, you know, kids are throwing rocks at her or something. I don't know what happened. She didn't say in her comments, but anyway, that's kind of what we talked about. If you have any questions for us that we didn't go over, these are just a couple. I would like to do this event again. Save your questions, put them on this event. I just posted them on a Facebook event. You can also call us at any time. We do board and trains. We offer training and boarding, private training, group classes. We do e-collar courses, things like that. Any sort of training that you need, we can help you. So these are just some things that that we kind of went over today. But if you have questions, call us. It's 801-980-0336. Thank you so much, and have a great day.